Nari TV presents Nari, a podcast show with Anil Keshary Shah, Season 2, celebrating the women heroes of Nepal. Banking partner Siddhartha Bank, Sambandha सधैँभरिलाई. Supported by Kumari Bank, सबैको लागि सधैँको लागि.
Namaskar. Welcome back to this episode of Nari TV presents Nari Heroes. आज हामीसँग यस्तो एउटा व्यक्ति हुनुहुन्छ जो आफू मात्र इन्स्पिरेसन हैन, उहाँले चाहिँ हजारौं नेपाली युवालाई इन्स्पायर गरिराख्नु भएको छ. उहाँको वक्तकलाबाट, उहाँको जीवनशैलीबाट र उहाँको एउटा जुन ऑरा छ त्यो ऑराबाट म त जहिले पनि उहाँलाई भेट्दाखेरि, उहाँको कुरा सुन्दाखेरि इन्स्पायर हुन्छु. म विश्वस्त छु यहाँहरू पनि यो एपिसोडबाट धेरै इन्स्पायर हुनुहुन्छ. नमस्कार मानसी जी.
Namaste,
and welcome,
sir.
So thank you so much for giving us the time to be here today.
I would absolutely do anything to be here. It's such a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. अब सुरुवातबाटै गरौँ. Let's start from this, your childhood, your birth, your family.
Yes. I was born in Calcutta, 1985. Very proudly, I'm going to be 40 next year, right now.
So almost my age, okay.
Well, I don't know if we're going to discuss that, but okay. Getting there, right now. So, Calcutta in the 80s was a very different place, ke? Sano hudakeri, I think I grew up in a family that was very close-knit. We were a huge joint family, but we used to stay in one big house, ke?
Oh, wow.
First floor, ground floor, 6 cousins living together. You know the craziness of that, right? And every day sleepover just stay thiyo, haina, suru-suruma. But my mother always told me one thing, ke hard work to garne parcha. So ever since I was a kid, I think growing up, त्यो हाम्रो फ्यामिलीमा सबैजना फेरि super hardworking kids, you know, यो पनि गर्नु पर्यो, त्यो पनि गर्नु पर्यो. When I think of my childhood, I think of my grandfather, how he used to love us, like 6 grandkids, and out of that 5 were girls. So he used to be like मेरो छोरीहरू, you know, like हाम्रो घरको like केटीहरू. He was so proud के. And उहाँको एउटा एकदमै infamous story छ. एकचोटि मेरो सबभन्दा ठुलो दिजु, she went to a restaurant. She was 1 year old. हजुरबुवाले लग्नु भएको थियो उहाँलाई 1 year को, and she peed on the table. हैन अब बच्चा whatever. And the waiter came, he's like, क्या है? He's like, कुछ नहीं है, अमृत मिला है आपको. And पानी फेंक दिया. And waiter is like, नहीं, we know the baby's done something. He's like, no, and he like drank it to prove it. We were like, no. But that's the kind of love that we grew up with, you know. And Kolkata ma hudakeri, because it's such a cultured city, hamro sano hudakeri pani, there was always a lot of stress on, you have to learn how to sing. You have to learn how to paint. My mother's an artist. So त्यो painting सिक्नु पर्छ, singing सिक्नु पर्छ, क्राफ्टमा राम्रो हुनुपर्छ, कि त भरतनाट्यम कि केही एउटा यु नो कल्चरल त्यो एउटा डान्स सिक्नु पर्छ.
पढेर मात्रै
पुग्दैन. ठुलो भएपछि हैन स्विमिङमा राम्रो गर्नु पर्यो, त्यसपछि यो थियो. So there was always a lot of focus on learn and we are there to love you. So that learning and love combination really is all that I can remember from my childhood.
That's really a wonderful way you put it, because a lot of parents put a lot of emphasis on learning, but it's not with love. It's with anxiety. It's with anxiousness. It's with pressure to the child. Fear. Yes. So the way you said it, no, it was the love. Do it if you can. Otherwise, you know, it's okay. You can't do Bharatanatyam. You sing or you paint.
Absolutely.
But you must push yourself.
Push yourself. Okay. And my mom also realized one thing. के मेरो हजुरबुवा, हजुरआमा र बाबा were the love side. So my mom is like, no, I got to be the learned side. Okay, so ali discipline garne kam mero. I'm going to push you guys because everybody else is like protecting you and no testo garne ke. So that combination, I think त्यो एउटा जुन dynamic थियो, that worked in our favor जस्तो लाग्छ के. All of us are very similar in terms of, you know, okay, काम गर्नुपर्छ, सिक्नुपर्छ. तर when we have fun and when we are together, we're like 5 sisters and it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And schooling, where did you?
क्यालकाटामा पढ्यो ला मार्टिनिया फर गर्ल्स भनेर एउटा स्कुल छ सो क्लास 2 देखि क्लास 12 सम्म आई वाज देयर त्यसपछि कलेजको लागि म सिम्बाइसिस पुणे गएको देयर आई स्टडीड इकोनोमिक्स
Economics.
Yes.
So how did you like economics?
I loved economics. मेरो त्यतिखेर साँच्चै बोल्दाखेरि मेरो प्लान के थियो लाइफको थाहा छ इकोनोमिक्स पढ्छु ग्रेजुएसन गर्छु पोस्ट ग्रेड गर्छु पिएचडी गर्छु त्यसपछि आई विल वर्क फर द गभर्मेन्ट आई विल वर्क आइदर इन लाइक द राष्ट्र ब्याङ्क इक्विभ्यालेन्ट रिजर्भ ब्याङ्क अफ इन्डिया त्यतिखेर आई थट म इकोनोमिक्स पढेर आई विल बी अ ब्याङ्कर or I'll be a civil servant. I'm going to get into that. एकदमै well chalked out जस्तो प्लान थियो मेरो and I thought I'm going to be perfect at a desk job. Thank God it didn't work out. Imagine like me at a desk job. I would not be able to do it जस्तो लाग्छ but that time I was very sure economics पढ्ने I want to be an economist. Like the whole academic part of it.
Either a professor or in government or regulator or something.
Government regulator. I wanted to be there like that.
What did your dad do?
My dad is a businessman.
Okay.
But now that he looks back, he's over 60. He's like, I wish I was a jewelry designer. Like, he's like, I never did this. I never got a chance to pursue it.
Oh, wow.
And he loves the idea of, he's not a good artist, I would say. Sketching haru ma ta ramro hununna. Tara he's like, no. I wish I actually pursued this. I wish I could design jewelry when I was younger, but he never got the chance to.
Oh, wow. It's like me in photography. I know. At times I look back and I think maybe I should have studied photography and all
Absolutely.
that. It's not that we're like your father also, I'm sure. We have very fulfilling lives and we're very happy with what it is. But that's why I always tell the youth, and I hear you say the same thing, is look inside you, look at your core competencies, look at your passion, and then follow that. Not what society is saying. Listen to everybody, take the feedback, but, maybe you should travel on a path less trodden on.
Absolutely. Plus, the other crazy thing is, so many new careers are coming up every day, right?
Yes.
Paila, who would have believed that being a tattoo artist was a real career choice?
Get that content creator.
I talk about it all the time.
Yes.
My grandfather, God bless him, passed away 11 years ago, right?
God bless him,
Yeah. But now that I think about it, imagine one day he comes back to life. How will I explain what all these people are doing?
Yes,
you know what
exactly,
I mean? 11 वर्षको पनि journey छैन यो पुरै industry को. How would somebody who passed away in 2013 understand that you can dance, make TikToks and make money off of it?
Exactly.
His brain will not be able to process that. किनकि उहाँको लागि त career के थियो? Teacher, doctor, lawyer, त्यस्तो पछि बिजनेसहरू पनि हुन थाल्यो. पछि maybe boutique designer त्यस्तो पनि but he would never be able to perceive that you can be a content creator or something like that.
In fact, content creator is way out there. My mother always used to ask my brother, who was did software engineering and he worked for Citibank, is what do you actually do? It's what do you do? Are you a typist? What do you do? Are you on the computer
software engineer, typist,
So it is a bit of a stretch, but that's lovely, because when I was a different generation.
Now you accept that we're not the same age.
Absolutely. No, you're talking, I'm here, younger.
Younger.
No, but seriously, as you said, it was doctor, engineer, banker,
teacher,
and also teacher, professor, that sort of thing. Or government service. I mean, government service was a very big thing. Lawyer, yes. So, and now it is really amazing.
It is amazing.
The slices are so many more, and you can just look inside you. But still, I find a lot of the youth not using this opportunity. Still saying that going with the broad strokes, doctor, engineer, यो नै भन्नुपर्छ भनेर, and that is sad.
त्यो प्रेसरले पनि होला प्रेसरले गर्दा पनि होला मेरो छोरा 10 वर्षको छ दाइ and he's telling me so I asked
you have a 10-year-old son.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's this tall. He's tall now.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're
so tall.
I know. Yes.
Yeah. We were not so tall, I think, when we were that young. He's really tall. And 10 वर्षको छोरा छ अनि बाबुलाई अब कहिले काहीँ सोध्छु नि के भन्ने हो. So सुरुमा सानो हुँदाखेरि he used to say I want to be an astronomer. I was super excited.
Oh, wow.
At the age of 3, he would not tell you about the planets. He would tell you about the Kuiper belt.
Oh wow.
About Ganymede. He would tell you about syzygy, all sorts of things that we don't normally talk about in terms of the solar system. Okay?
Yes.
So Jupiter ma methane ko matra yati cha yati bhai yo huन्थ्यो kalko kura. So we thought, okay, maybe we should like promote his love for science. He's like 8.5. He's like, no, I want to be a YouTuber. We're like, fine. 10, recently he's telling me, I want to be a gamer. दिन भरी game खेल्ने, video बनाउने अनि live streaming गर्ने. यस्तो profession haru, would you believe that you can actually get paid for gaming? But there are people making millions of dollars and we don't know about these things at all.
I also didn't. In a podcast that I was doing with sports people. So we had cricketers, footballers, we had an MMA fighter, and people of traditional sports.
Right.
And all of them said, we love playing for the country, we're so proud playing for the country. हामी नेपालको तारा, तर हाम्रो विडम्बना भनेको आउँछ घर भाडा कहाँबाट. You know, the financial part. And we also had 2 gamers. So I was asking, Mota Moti, how much do you earn? And they were saying 50,000, 70,000, 30,000. And then I asked the gamers, and what about you? And they said, Hamro pani, one said, 20-25 huncha hola, and the other one said, Mero chahi 30 bhanda badi.
They were not talking about Nepali rupees.
No, they were not talking about thousands. They were talking about lakhs per month. That's how much they earn. And they do exactly that.
I want to be a gamer.
Yeah, gamers.
Okay.
That's what I said. And they play games and they stream themselves playing. So thousands, hundreds of thousands. He has, I don't know, million something subscribers or something. And they all look at him just playing with that thing as if they are playing. It's amazing. You know, and I would never think, भिडियो गेम खेल्यो भने बाबा आमाले गाली गर्थ्यो कि त्यो गाली नगरेर खेल भने आज त गजब हुन्थ्यो
हो नि त त्यो टेट्रिस गेम याद छ आई डोन्ट नो यु प्ले टेट्रिस त्यो एउटा हुने न टॉयलेटमा लुकेर खेल्थे म हैन
एस्ट्रोइड भन्ने प्याकम्यान ओ द अदर वन प्याकम्यान भन्ने
दैट इज योर जेनेरेसन no but you know what I mean, right? Like, but I did not know 20-25 lakh is a lot of money.
Yes, and one of them, it's such an amazing story. A to-be gamer, a young guy, and his family owned a restaurant. And a restaurant, in a little town near a bridge. The whole society looked down on them. Single mother, and the mother, when they were working and thing, and when they were sitting, they would say, "Mero chahi एउटै इच्छा छ आफ्नै घर भएदेखि हुन्थ्यो." And he told them, "Mom, म 30 वर्ष हुँदाखेरि आमालाई घर बनाएर दिन्छु." एन्ड ही सेड धेरै सपना त साकार गरे त्यो चाहिँ गर्न सकिन दाइ. यसो किन यङै छौ हैन टाइम बाँकी छ नि गर्नलाई. हैन दाइ मैले 30 भनेको थिएँ दाइ 25 मा बनाएर दिए अरे. At 25 years he bought land, built a house and put his mother in there. Wow. I was like,
that is real empowerment, to retire your parents early.
Yes. And I ever since then I've been trying to
learn games.
Yeah.
Learn how to be
no हुने रहेछ अब चाहिँ के गर्ने.
गाह्रो छ हजुर गाह्रो छ. It's not so easy.
Tubi is the junior one. Thonde is the big gamer. Thonde gamer. I mean, amazing. Okay, it's amazing what they do, and their humility and their kindness and the way they talk. It's not like, hey man, I got the money, man. No, it's so amazing. I was like, wow. But then you look at their lives. They're like, they're inside playing games. In one way, you've got to be passionate. Anil Shah could not do that. That even if I had the thing, because my passion isn't there. But you see the way they talk about it. It's like a footballer talking about football. Cricketer talking about cricket. It's like your son talking about the Milky Way and the solar system at that point of time. And this is what I find amazing. Is we must give our children the space to change.
Yes. Yes.
Astronomer भने थिस् अब astronomer नै बन astronomer हैन म गर्न हैन astronomer यति हामी astronomer गरिसक्यो यो सबै किनिसक्यो. It's sad.
Also because आजकल त it's all skill based नि त and there's so much of space to learn. You today, the fact that I have access to have a conversation with you is a big thing. The fact that I can actually speak to you and ask you something is a big thing. 20 वर्ष अगाडि this access was not there. Social media was not there. The internet was not there. It was not easy for people to learn things. आज because it's easy to learn, it's also more flexible and fluid. Okay?
Absolutely.
मेरो पनि एउटा सानो कुरा यस्तै भन्छु हैन. Just because I just remembered this. At the age of 28, I was expecting my son. So I was 28 and a half that time, हैन. अनि बाबु हुँदाखेरि मेरो एउटा एकदम इच्छा थियो सानोदेखि नै, not सानो but like when I was older, that I want a baby photo shoot. Like when I have a child, I want a baby shoot.
Yes.
अनि मैले अनलाइन काठमाडौँमा खोजेँ बेबी फोटोग्राफर कोही पनि भेटेन, स्पेसिफिक बेबी फोटोग्राफर के त्यो पास्नीहरूमा लिने थियो तर बेबी फोटोग्राफर थिएन, right?
The flower हालेर गरेर that.
So when I discovered I was pregnant, within the first 2 months I started learning how to take pictures. आई ह्याड अ क्यामेरा होइन, एउटा बेसिक क्याननको डिएसएलआरै थियो तर बेसिक थियो के, एउटा लेन्स मात्र, त्यो किट लेन्स भन्छ, बेसिक लेन्सवाला थियो, हजुरलाई थाहा छ होइन, त्यो थियो. आई स्टार्टेड विथ अ 550D बेसिक क्यामेरा. अनि मैले सिक्न स्टार्ट गरेँ एन्ड आई गेभ माइ सेल्फ अ टाइमलाइन. 9 महिना छ, 7 महिना छ के, आई मिन टिल आई डिलिभर. एन्ड आई सेड आइ एम गोइङ टु बी अ गुड फोटोग्राफर बाई द टाइम माई बेबी इज बोर्न. माई बेबी वाज बोर्न, सी सेक्सन भयो. 22 दिनको जो बाबु थियो, मैले आफ्नो क्यामेरा निकालेर उसको फोटो लिन थालेँ के. एन्ड देन आई सेड एभ्री 1 मन्थको म माइल स्टोनमा उसको फोटोसुटै गर्छु कि प्रपरली, लाइक अ प्रोफेसनल वुड डु इट होइन. 7th मन्थ जब आयो, बाबु 7 महिनाको भयो, आई बिकेम ड्याम गुड एट इट. सो देन माई फ्रेन्ड started telling me, अच्छा मेरो छोराको पनि गरिदियो, छोरालाई लिएर आउँछु, नानुलाई लिएर आउँछु. I'm like, get everybody, get as many kids, because I only know a child that does not move, but let's see how it is to work with a child that moves.
Exactly,
right?
Practice for your kid.
Practice, absolutely. So I started this. After 2 months, people are like, how much do you charge for this? And I'm like, oh, I charge for this. I don't know I charge for this, but I charge for this. This made me realize that मैले photography formally त सिकेको छैन. इन्टरनेटबाट भिडियो हेरेँ, प्र्याक्टिस गरेर आफ्नै बाबुसँग होइन. तर त्यो जुन एउटा स्किलको कुरा थियो, एन्ड आई गेभ माई सेल्फ द पर्मिसन टु मेक मिस्टेक्स एन्ड द्याट रुम टु ग्रो. एन्ड बिस्तारै, एन्ड इट टुक मी टाइम, आई एम नट गोइङ टु लाई. But the truth is, I worked as a photographer for 6 years after that. So I was a professional photographer. I did more than 400 shoots. And
from babies to books of food.
Yes. Also food. Food is easier than babies, no? Doesn't move. Put it there and it's there. And once babies start moving, you are running with a long lens, but you're just running behind a child, right? Food ta sajilo sa. In comparison, you style it, you place it, and it's there. Nothing's going to happen to it. But home. So you seep ko kurache, I think this is super important to be able to sort of learn all the time.
So you, मैले चाहिँ के सिकेँ यसबाट भने, म पनि फोटोग्राफी गर्छु, यहाँ त्यति राम्रो त गर्दिनँ, तर
वाइल्ड गर्नुहुन्छ झन्डै गाह्रोवाला.
त्यो त झन् पहिला त पाउनु पर्यो. Exactly.
Moves, runs.
You have to find him first and then make sure he stays there in the light. Anyway, but the like you, me also, I find a lot of people to say, this is what I want to do. I'm looking for a course to do it and I want to do this and get a... You're not looking for paper. You're looking for SEEP. यहाँले भन्नुभयो नि SEEP. होइन, यो कागज, डिग्री, यो सर्टिफिकेट भन्दा पनि SEEP. र त्यो SEEP अहिले त घरमा जेमा पनि सिक्नु सकिन्छ के. अब त्यो
फोनमै छ,
युट्युबमा गएर हेऱ्यो भनेदेखि. तर अर्को महत्त्वपूर्ण कुरा चाहिँ मान्छेहरू डराउँछन् कि मेबी आई मेक अ मिस्टेक, मेबी इट्स ओके, इट्स अल राइट. झन् अहिले फोटोग्राफी त डिजिटल, पहिला पो त त्यो स्लाइड हेऱ्यो पैसा गयो भन्ने हुन्थ्यो. अब त डिलिट फर्मेट यो कार्ड, यु स्टार्ट ओभर अगेन.
Take 2,000 photos, nobody is ever going to know. You'll never have to develop them. You'll never spend money. It's so easy to learn so many things these days.
I remember in my marriage, we had obviously photographers and group photoमा चाहिँ खिच्थ्यो अनि सामान चाहिँ एउटा अर्को खिच्नु न, होइन राम्रो आइसक्यो कि उसको त अब त्यो रिलमा 36 वटा छ, कतिवटा अहिले पो त खिचाइ छ. And it's like, you know, they really don't care what is happening.
There's no cost involved. No.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
So Calcutta symbiosis-बाट यो प्रेम विवाह यो के भएर काठमाडौँ कसरी आइपुग्नु भयो?
So it was an arranged marriage.
Okay.
My father found somebody. And
in Kathmandu?
In Kathmandu.
Oh.
हुन त मारवाडी समुदायकै, तर my father found somebody. And he's like, okay, you're going to Nepal. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to Nepal. At that point, I think one of the mistakes I made was I didn't actually ever consider myself. I was not, you know, there's a difference between being nice and being good.
Yes.
I was always told that you have to be nice, right? And I was always told that your parents are always correct, correct? And when I was growing up, my parents were 30s, 40s. I don't think, I'm almost 40. I don't think anybody should ever think I'm always correct.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But we were told to behave like our parents were God and they were always correct.
No questioning.
Never. No questions asked.
Yes.
So my dad said, अब जानु पर्छ, तिम्रो बिहा हुन्छ. म सेकेन्ड इयर कलेजमा थिएँ. मेरो फाइनल एक्जाम, फाइनल जाँच चाहिँ 9 दिनपछि थियो. अनि मलाई कलकत्ता बुलायो, भेटायो आधी घन्टाको लागि. अनि अब 3 महिनामा तिम्रो बिहा हो टाइप्स भयो होइन. अलि a few more things, but yeah. I was allowed to go back to give my exams without again questions. गएँ, एक्जाम दिएँ. हनीमुनमा ब्याङ्ककमा थिएँ फिफी आइल्यान्डमा बोटबाट पुगिरहेको थिएँ कल आइरहेको थियो कि बार एन्ड कल कनेक्ट भइरहेको थिएन इट वाज भेरी ब्याड नेटवर्क कल कनेक्ट भएपछि थाहा पायो आई गट अ गोल्ड मेडल के द्याट इयर एन्ड आई एम सिटिङ एन्ड क्राइङ बिकज gold medal, but I dropped out, right? I never had the courage to actually stand up for myself and at that point to say, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, or I want to do it later on.
Of course, pause after 5 years. Let me get that PhD. Let me do whatever. Let me figure out. I never had the courage. Okay? So, त्यो चाहिँ मेरो लागि अहिले पनि it's a regret. I wish I had studied a bit more because for me, I was so passionate about economics also. I really thought I could make a difference. त्यतिखेर त्यो मलाई एउटा राम्रो पोइन्ट लागिरहेको थियो कि यो गर्न सक्छु I love this, I can make a difference here त्यस्तो लाग्थ्यो but ठिक छ I'm here, I'm happy, I'm sitting in front of you.
Absolutely.
And that's how I came to Nepal. And
Had you been to Nepal before your marriage?
Never. I knew 3 things about Nepal, Hazur. Mount Everest, Lord Buddha, bye-bye. Literally.
There we go, Mr. Chaudhary.
No, it was not like a plug-in, but you know what I mean?
You didn't know? Oh, no momos. Yeah.
No momos. No momos. Not really. Calcutta ma thiyo, momoharu paunthyo होला, but we were never fond of it. Tetikera. It was like 18 years ago, not really. No. I had never eaten a momo before I came here.
Okay. So how was that transition?
Very complicated. 2006.
I like that word. It's like interesting, very complicated.
Complicated थियो नि त 2006. The political upheaval that was happening in this country, along with the fact that I have come from college, free bird, hostel ma basirako, into a conservative family, into a country where the infrastructure wasn't possibly up to the mark.
Yes, yeah.
So from 24 hours of batti, pani, fuel, college life, students, bachelors garirako, into a country where not only did I know 0 people, not only did I not speak the language, I didn't speak the language outside, which was Nepali, and I didn't speak the language that they spoke at home, which was Marwari. So I am suddenly cut off completely. Phone garne.
So you spoke English and Bangla?
And Hindi.
And Hindi, yeah. Okay.
Ali français, French.
French, oh.
Ali. Oui.
Parlez-vous?
So a bit, but I never really actually spoke Marwari or Nepali. So मेरो लागि एकदम गाह्रो थियो. I think the first 3-4 years were very difficult because college bata economics गर्दाखेरि now I'm suddenly like in the kitchen, not expected to work in a very different environment in a country that was very different from where I had grown up. Plus there was a lot of room for improvements in the infrastructure. Plus, no language proficiency of either of the languages that were being spoken around me. Ekdam garo bhatyo.
Bhitra pani, bahira pani, ghar bhitra, ghar bahira.
Ekdam mein. No way to express myself.
Yeah.
And it was so complicated to call up India. You know, it used to be 70 rupees. 70 rupees लाग्थ्यो के ठमेलमा. I would go to a booth. के boothमा गएर मैले गरे हो के आज सोचेर it feels like strange, like otherworldly हैन. मैले पनि boothमा गएर 70 रुपैयाँ हुने के. So if you're speaking for 1 minute, you know, when it's 1 minute, you'll hang up at the 58 second. Okay, bye. Like that. I've done those kind of things. के सुरुमा गाह्रो हुने. एकदम गाह्रो भएको थियो.
So how did you slowly settle into this and evolve into this amazing individual that you are in Nepal, you know?
Nepal was very kind to me.
Okay.
So the good things that happened was, number 1, Toastmasters.
Okay.
A huge game changer for me. So अब त्यही हो नेपाली पनि नआउने, मारवाडी पनि नआउने, के गर्ने types. Toastmastersमा मेरो हाम्रो फ्यामिलीमा अश्विनी अग्रवालजी हुनुहुन्छ. सो ही टुक मी फर अ मिटिङ के अनि मिटिङ गएर त्यो दिन रञ्जिताचार्य वाज द टेबल टपिक मास्टर. अनि उहाँले एउटा टपिक दिनुभएको थियो, इफ यु वर अ सेलिब्रिटी भिजिटिङ नेपाल वाट वुड यु टेल द पिपल हियर. टपिक थियो एन्ड आई वाज लाइक ओ आई क्यान डु दिस, आई एम भिजिटिङ, यु नो, आई हेड जस्ट कम इन टु नेपाल, राइट, त्यो फिल थियो. अनि मैले स्पिच दिएँ अनि आई गट अ प्राइज के, लाइफको फर्स्ट प्राइज आफ्टर अ लङ टाइम पायो के, प्राइज एउटा टेबल टपिकको. मेरो लागि त्यतिखेर ठुलो कुरा के प्राइजै पाएँ होइन. And then I never stopped going. And for me, Toastmasters became not only a window into the country, because अब यहाँ सबैजना अंग्रेजी बोलिरहेछन्. Suddenly, I have a language. And suddenly, I'm meeting people apart from those 6 people I'm surrounded by. So, language पनि एउटा आफ्नो भाषा भन्दा at least a language in which I was comfortable. त्यस्तो बोल्ने मान्छे पाएँ. People are making speeches, so I'm learning about their lives. I'm learning about Nepal from them. I'm learning about what's happening outside from them. Plus, more than that, because I was writing speeches, I started learning about myself. So there was a lot of conscious work that was going into understanding myself as well. So Toastmasters मेरो लागि ठुलो एउटा breakthrough थियो. त्यसपछि
यसमै म एउटा भन्न चाहन्छु है, यो टोस्टमास्टर्स भन्ने चाहिँ फेरि अहिले पनि छन्, देशभरि नै फैलिरहेको छ र हामीले त एउटा सगरमाथा टोस्टमास्टर्स भन्ने नेपाली टोस्टमास्टर्स पनि खोलेको छौँ. वक्तकला अहिले एकदम महत्त्वपूर्ण हो जिन्दगीमा हैन. त्यो जुन युगमा हामी बस्छौँ त्यसमा वक्तकला एकदम महत्त्वपूर्ण हो सबैजनालाई हैन. आफ्नो वक्तकला उत्कृष्ट बनाउने हो भनेदेखि नेपालीमा होस् अङ्ग्रेजीमा होस् यो टोस्टमास्टर्स चाहिँ कन्सिडर गर्नु होला हैन. इट्स नट समथिङ द्याट वी आर प्लगिङ फर टोस्टमास्टर्स, बट आई एम अल्सो अ मेम्बर अफ टोस्टमास्टर्स एन्ड पिपल से यु स्पिक सो वेल, व्हाई यु इन टोस्टमास्टर्स? Because I want to speak better. Exactly. Everybody. That's what it is. There's always room for improvement. And the best part is, as you said, it's a structured. It's not just going there and giving a speech. It's a structured thing. There are different topics, different levels, different to. Actually, yeah, consider saying garnu hola Toastmasters. Find out where's the nearest Toastmasters. There's Toastmasters central uharu pani cha. Just reach out. Google it, find out. But I would seriously, and it doesn't matter on age. You could be in school, you could be in college, you could be retired, you could be. Bhaktakala. It's very, very important. And look at this. I know where I love that. Love that in the sense that you're so free with that बाहिर बोल्ने नेपाली पनि आउँदैन, घरभित्र बोल्ने मारवाडी पनि आउँदैन, जुन भाषा मलाई आउँछ त्यो भाषामा कोही कुरै गरिरहेको छैन, के गर्ने अब भनेर चाहिँ हैन. And from that to this, wow, I mean, not this. Look at that. That's the inspiration. Okay, that's the inspiration.
This is the inspiration, no? This is the speaking inspiration.
And then you were saying.
So Toastmasters ले मलाई धेरै सिकायो. त्यसपछि there was a lot of things that were happening on the personal front, because of which there were a lot of financial issues.
Okay.
And because of that, I had to be like, okay, now I need to earn money. Like this is serious. So now I need to really, really earn money. Yes. So then I started working. And
you never went back to college, just to clarify. 2 years, gold medal, and.
No, 2 years gold medal. Third year I had to get a degree. Like up to degree त चाहियो. 2 वर्ष काम गरिसके degree त चाहियो. So I did something called distance education from the same university. त्यो सम्भव छ हैन, युनिभर्सिटीकै. अनि अब डिस्टेन्स एजुकेसनमा के गर्नु पर्यो, वर्षमा एकचोटि गएर जाँच मात्र दिनु पर्यो. जाँचमा गएँ, एक दिन अगाडि पुगेँ, बुक्स किने. I swear. अनि कुन बुक्स थाहा छ? What do you call those books? त्यो क्वेसन आन्सर मात्र हुने?
Yes, exactly.
त्यो
कुनी के क्लिफ नोट्स भन्छ अमेरिकामा त त्यो. It's just the questions and answers. Just the short version भनौँ न.
There's a book, there's a name for this, right? So 70 rupees को एक बुक हुन्थ्यो, 6 सब्जेक्ट, 420 rupees इन्डियनमा मैले त्यो बुक्स किने हैन. So I have like these पतला pamphlet kind of books हुन्छ हैन.
Exactly, yes.
त्यो पढेँ हैन. अब भोलिबाट एक्जाम छ, त्यो पढेँ. अनि जुन एक्जाम छ त्यसको अगाडिको दिन I'm studying that for the whole year.
Yeah.
I got a silver medal.
Oh wow.
So I'm like it was like university I was in the in the second rank. Yeah. So there was no medal as such because I was a distant student. So I don't have a medal, but it was like that.
Wow.
So I was
No, I think as a child when you said, I went to bachelor's, master's, PhD, there's something there, no? बत्ती त रहेछ नि दिमागमा त झल बलिरहेको रहेछ. त्यसरी गएर त्यो स्याम्पल पेपर हो के भन्छ त्यो चाहिँ
स्याम्पल बुक्स, स्याम्पल टेस्ट बुक्स हुन्थ्यो पुणेमा भन्थ्यो. हो. तर एउटा कुरा भनौँ, यो मैले जुन तरिकाले गरे हो, आई डोन्ट सजेस्ट इट टु एनीबडी. एन्ड आइल टेल यु वाइ. मैले त लास्ट मोमेन्ट मात्र एक्जाम पास गर्नको लागि गरे हो नि. त्यसको रिजल्ट के भयो त? 8 to 10 years ago in Kathmandu, I was invited to make a speech in some college. Ani bani, ali chito puge. Every day I reach chito everywhere.
Of course, we know that. Yes.
Bani, chito puge. Mathi auditorium, they called me. They said, "Ma'am, come sit. There's a quiz that's happening." So I said, let's go. Quiz, whatever, will be fun to watch. Quiz ke microeconomics. Micro मेरो favorite subject फेरि हैन. Micro I used to love. अब माइक्रो इकोनोमिक्स का क्विज आई गो विथ दिस मलाई त सबै आउँछ हैन. माइक्रोमा मैले
गोल्ड मेडल, सिल्भर silver medal
नै अनि 100 on 100 in second year पनि पाएको होइन. सो म त्यस्तो माइक्रो त्यो लेभलको इगो लिएर त्यो हलभित्र छिरेँ. मेरो अगाडि 12वटा प्रश्न सोध्या थियो के होइन. मेरो अगाडि नै 12वटा प्रश्न सोध्या थियो. गेस हाउ मेनी आन्सर्स आई न्यू 12बाट. गेस
6.
नो गेस बेटर
10.
No, less.
Oh.
Better money, less.
4.
No, half. I knew the name of the economist. I didn't even know what was being said. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yes.
त्यो level को काम नलाग्ने खालको. The way I had studied.
Exactly.
I'm not saying economics काम लाग्दैन. I'm saying मेरो टेक्निक यति रङ थियो. मात्र पढेर एक्जामको लागि मात्र क्र्याक गर्ने होइन. तर त्यसको एक त प्र्याक्टिकल एप्लिकेसन भएन. सेकेन्ड, आई वाज कम्प्लिटली डिस्कनेक्टेड फ्रम द्याट. बट थर्ड, आई ह्याडन्ट रियली इन्टर्नलाइज एनिथिङ. आई न्यू एभ्रिथिङ अन अ सुपरफिसियल लेभल. जाँच दिने, एन्ड आई वाज गुड एट द्याट होइन. सो विच मेक्स मी रियलाइज जाँच दिने इज अ कम्प्लिटली डिफरेन्ट स्किल सेट फ्रम लर्निङ एनिथिङ एट अल. केही आउँदैन मलाई. इकोनोमिक्सको एउटा प्रश्न सोधेर म एउटा पनि जवाफ दिन सक्दिनँ.
The Three Idiots, I remember, okay, when he said, are you studying for the paper or are you studying for the knowledge?
Exactly. So I was studying for the paper.
Most of us, the quest was for the degree, not for the knowledge. And that's so sad, I find it different now. A lot of people are into it for the knowledge and, of course they want to do well in the exam, but that's not the only thing that they want to do well in.
Because I think a lot of younger people also today have the courage to stand up to their parents and say,
yes,
I want to do this because I want to do this.
Exactly.
Like my brother's like, I don't want to join your business, Papa. He told my dad. And my dad is like, kaun karega? Basic. He's like, I want to be in media. He studied media.
Okay.
He's a podcast analyst and a podcast consultant now. So he works with organizations and he helps them set up their podcasts.
Wow.
So he produces, directs, sort of does the framework for the podcast. So it's such a niche thing. It's specific kura gariracha aajkal.
Now I know how you're excelling. You have this inside track through your brother.
No, my brother doesn't do. He's useless. He's much younger than me, haina. Isto badmaas ke he only calls me at 11 in the night. If he either has a problem with girls.
Oh, okay. Yes, Didi, you must advise.
What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
Okay, either that, or when he was in college, he would call up if he needed money. Like, that's it.
He's a good brother, in other words, yes.
He's a very typical younger brother.
Yes. Okay. So then, okay, over here, then Toastmasters.
Yes, Toastmasters. I started working. Okay,
what was your first job here? Job meaning what was the first thing you did?
First job.
Oh.
I was working in City Centre Mall. Okay. NLIC City Centre as the marketing manager.
Oh.
I did that for a year and a half.
Okay.
And then I was tired and I was just like, okay, now it's the same thing. Ali saturation ayo. Mero problem sa I get bored easily. So saturation just to boyo. So I left that and then I was like, okay, now let me figure. Then training started happening side by side just to huna thalyo. And then later training ma alikata boring huna bitike photography. Then I phased that out and now I'm specifically into training or speaking and things like that.
No, this training thing now, let's go to that because you do it exceptionally well. And I'm not just saying this because you're here. Today in the group of people who impart knowledge on different things, you are right up there. In my vision, everyone has their own perception.
This is not a paid plug. If Anil Rai is saying it, this is the biggest thing.
No,
this is making my
I've told
ear.
you this before also because it's the entire package that you get. It's not just some slides and note really same thing. I'll give you certificate. But it's the overall learning. But how did you get into that? Because economics, then you did a marketing. I mean, it's not like a natural evolution into training. So what made you? What was the batti kasari bolyo ke you garne
Dui kura. My dad is a very good speaker. He's a very good communicator.
All right.
So he's always been, I always say this to him, I wish I could be like you on stage. His stage presence is something else. Okay. So I grew up watching him speak.
All right. Yes.
And I grew up having conversations with him on a variety of topics. That has been the biggest thing I've inherited from him. That's my heirloom, right? The fact that I got to have these conversations with my father. And my school principal, again, was always a very good speaker. She was a great orator. So I had these two people that were influencing me. Then with Toastmasters, I built up on a lot of technical skills, which came to me more naturally, but I didn't know kina mo esto boliratchu. What is the behind the scenes of it? What goes into it? What is the process? Tyo maile 2+2 गर्न thale. But apart from that, I did a lot of reading, a lot of research, a lot of writing, a lot of things which then slowly equipped me to start training. Tara making mistakes ko kura, mero first ko trainings ma, the trainer I was, and the trainer I've evolved into after 13, 14, 15 years is completely different. Why? Mero first few trainings were actually not trainings, I was teaching in colleges. Okay. Ani college ma sikaunda kheri, as a teacher, your aura has to be different.
Yes.
You have to be a bit more of a disciplinarian.
Yes.
But can I go and be a disciplinarian with 45-year-old people working in a bank? Absolutely not. So who I was as a person and how I had to grow, I think, for me, the soft skill of growing into a different person and being a person they would want to connect with was more work than actually knowing how to communicate or to train. So the technicalities of being a trainer were easier for me, came more naturally to me because I had progressed through college, done all of that work. But the soft skills of, okay, if they hate me, they're not going to want to listen to me for 2 days. So how do I make sure that does not happen? मसँग यस्तो पनि भएको छ अनि मेरो गल्ती हो कि this is the funniest and the cringiest and the worst experience as a trainer. 12 वर्ष अगाडिको कुरा होला. जावला खेलमा स्टाफ कलेज छ नि, लोकसेवा पास गरेर मान्छेहरू आउनुहुन्छ. त्यो स्टाफ कलेजमा मेरो फर्स्ट डे थियो ट्रेनिङको. उहाँहरूको 6 महिनाको ट्रेनिङ हुन्छ अङ्ग्रेजी भाषामा अनि त्यसमा 6 सेसन हुन्छ पब्लिक स्पिकिङ. सो दे हेभ डिफ्रेन्ट काइन्ड्स अफ कोर्सेस विदिन द इङ्ग्लिस ल्याङ्ग्वेज, तर 6 दिन हुन्छ पब्लिक स्पिकिङ. अनि फर्स्ट डे अब म त आई वाज मच यङ्गर अल्सो, 26, 27. अनि मलाई एक्ज्याक्टली थाहा थिएन वाट इज द ब्याकग्राउन्ड अफ द क्लास आइ एम स्पिकिङ टु. के मलाई थाहा थिएन. आई अन्डरस्टुड सिभिल सर्भेन्ट्स, आई अन्डरस्टुड पास गरेर आउनु भएको छ. ठिक छ, अब आई जस्ट वेन्ट इन. कुनै एउटा उदाहरण दिनुपर्ने थियो. मुखबाट impulsively or stupidly, should I say, Sachin Tendulkar niskyo. Niskinu parne kune Nepali naam, like a Paras Khadka or something, or whatever was happening then, right? Galti bhoyo mero. Next day, mero class, and I was very strict. I said, homework to do, because college bata seedha aako, right? College bata tara yo staff college ho, like these are older people, more experienced and much smarter, very smart people. Mero galti. नेक्स्ट डे म क्लासमा जान्छु, कोही छैन, लाइटहरू सबै बन्द छ, कोही पनि छैन क्लासभित्र. एन्ड आई वेन्ट आउटसाइड एन्ड आई सी देयर सिटिङ अन द स्टेयर्स एन्ड आइ एम लाइक, सर क्लास हाम्रो लाइक क्लास हामी गर्दैनौँ किन, तपाईँसँग नसिक्ने. एन्ड आइ एम लाइक, ओके व्हाट डिड आई डु. देन दे टोल्ड द कोअर्डिनेटर, दिस गर्ल इज basically we're not going to study because of whatever reasons. They gave their own reasons and I was very upset. I remember I came back home in a cab and I was crying throughout the cab journey. I'm like, I love this so much. I want to teach. Trainer concept hi thena. I was a teacher. College ko teacher thi nahi ta. I was like, I want to teach. I know I can teach, but they hate me so much. And that was such a pivotal turning point for me. Because त्यो दिन मैले realize गरे, okay, Matra being a good teacher is not going to make you a good trainer. To go to the next level now, there has to be a level of being able to connect, understand, engage, and for them to be able to love you, not just respect you. That has to be there. Next day, to pure change. I was a different person. Next class, they're like, oh, ma'am, ko class ta ramailo recha. I'm like, of course ramailo, I put in so much of thought into being likable a bit more. And into adapting into that new scenario, because the thought process of a college teacher versus a corporate trainer is totally different. Tyo che mero lagi sabbhanda thulo thyo.
Wow. No, and that's, when I said that I really look up to what you've evolved yourself into being, because you see, I'm also a trainer, but for me it's a little simpler because in Nepal, 31 years in banking, 17 years as CEO, the mustache, the glasses, the Anil Shah brand. So when I walk in, they already love me.
Exactly.
And they have this thing that यसले के गरेको छ त्यही भएर सिक्नु यसबाट कान they're not only hearing, they're listening, the brain is working and thing. And this is actually an Indian trainer in a program we did together said, Anil, I don't know about anywhere else, but no one can compete with you here for the simple reason, one, you have amazing communication. Second, you are coming today. From yesterday they've been talking about you.
The credibility.
Yes.
The credibility and the years of gravitas. That, of course, you walk into a room and we know you're going to speak.
So no, and now you have evolved into that as well. Coming from, it's like me having gone and settled down in, say, another country in South Asia, say Bangladesh or Sri Lanka somewhere, and then having to build that. I'm saying what you have achieved in this time, which is not as a trainer, is phenomenal today. Just recently, our Prime Minister retweeted your tweet. I mean, that's something like even Anil, everybody would be like, he's my Prime Minister. I mean, politically, whatever, but he's my Prime Minister, and to have that for the national concert, I think. How was that?
That was amazing, actually. My dad, मेरो बाबा हैन कहिले पनि राम्रो बोल्नुहुन्न के हाम्रो बारेमा. He's very like नै like he's very like त्यो humility लाई त्यो अर्कै लेभलमा लग्नु भएको छ जस्तो छ. Even my mom, they don't care. They're like, my dad, he's very like, whatever, you do all this. And, but I know he's proud, भित्रबाट, तर मुखमा कहिले नि नदेखाउने के. अस्ति नेपाल आउनु भएको थियो, अनि we went to Bhatbhatini के. And बाबा पनि हुनुहुन्थ्यो. So Papa and we were together. Somebody came for a photo. He's like, तुम्हारे साथ लोग फोटो लेते हैं. I was like, yeah, Papa. Like, it's like, And he was like so proud because... to him, it's the first time. He's like you are bhada maskawing at home and we see you do that. But this is who you are outside kind of a thing. And he's like, I didn't know this. And I'm like, yeah, Baba, you need to be more aware. But je ho side na. So my Baba, that Prime Minister ko thing happened. So ke bhathyo actually. National Day ma, Constitution Day ma, असोज 3 गते, Prime Minister Office bata, they were saying, let's do something together. Nagrik starbata yako ho yo program, but they wanted like a few people to represent the civil society and to organize this in tandem with the Prime Minister's office. So malai to firstly ali shocky lagyo ma kina. And I said, I'm the only one. My first meeting ma gaya the, there were 151 people and I was the only non-Nepali on paper. Okay. So later I went and I asked very nice girls, very young, very smart girls. Like there are 6-7 of them. They're so good. So pachi ali friendly bhai pachi I was like, mero naam kina ayo ma to huna ta Nepal ma baschu 18 वर्ष भइसक्यो. एक adult life to मैले नेपालमा बिताइसके तर मेरो नाम कसरी दे लाइक हैन म्याम बट you've done so much. You talk about the country. तपाईले राम्रो गर्नु भएको छ. Of course we wanted to invite you. I was so touched by this. अनि त्यसपछि we made small videos. हाम्रो काम मेन के थियो सानो भिडियो बनाउने अलिकता प्रमोट गर्दिने so people should know. तर I told them मैले आफ्नो पछि पनि नाम लेखे. I said see guys यो त बेसिक भयो. If you need any other help, social media अलिअलि बुझ्छु, communication अलिअलि बुझ्छु. If you need anything, give me a call. Next day they called again. So we had 2-3 rounds of meetings. Third day, I suddenly realized there are just 2 civilians and 7 people from the office. So it was a core committee. And now I'm like on that core committee of 9 people. Okay? So they were working very hard, but they were organizing security etauta. Hami 2 jana civilians. We were basically looking into, okay, अब social media ma कुन platform use गर्ने, कसरी गर्ने. And they were really proactive. मलाई एउटा कुरा एकदम कुन कुरा मन पर्यो. हामीलाई कहिले काहीँ लाग्छ बाहिरबाट हेर्दाखेरि that they are not so proactive के कुनै प्रोसेसमा टाइम लाग्छ अलिकता ब्युरोक्रेसी हुन्छ simple things कुनै प्रोक्योरमेन्टमा I said okay यो गर्नु पर्यो एउटा भोइस ओभर गर्नु पर्यो माइक चाहियो so there were people that were like, okay, ma'am, 45 minutes. The mic was procured. There wasn't this bairabata. Of course, there could be bigger structural gaps. I understand that. There could be cracks. I understand that. I understand it's nowhere close to perfect. तर त्यो PM अफिसमा काम गर्दाखेरि 3 दिन त त्यहीँ बसेरै काम गरे हो त्यही रुममा लाइक टाइप गरिरहेछौँ यो त्यो you do this खालको भइरहेको थियो. We were all working together. थियो मेरो लागि एउटा आई ओपनिङ एक्सपिरियन्स पनि थियो. It was very nice to see all of the work that was happening. Nice to see that a very tiny group was handling something much bigger than we anticipated. प्रोग्राम पनि राम्रो भयो अनि त्यसकै क्रममा प्राइम मिनिस्टरले पनि मेरो भिडियो सेयर गर्नुभयो के आफ्नोमा. मलाई थाहा थिएन हैन मलाई कुनै आइडिया थिएन. अब म त ठिक छ सडनली स्क्रिनशट आयो कि 2-3 साथीहरूले पठाइदिनु भयो अनि आम लाइक ओके व्हाट एन्ड मलाई ट्याग गर्नु भएको थिएन. मेरो नामको स्पेलिङ खासै गलत छ मानुषी लेख्या छ हैन त्यो भएर मलाई ट्याग गर्नु भएन. तर मैले स्क्रिनशटलाई मैले सेयर गरेँ. त्यसपछि त आई थिंक फर 5 days everyone's calling me Manushi. Hello Manushi, if the prime minister says you're Manushi, you are Manushi. Exactly. I'm like I will be Manushi, I will be Amitabh Bachchan, I will be Paras Khadka if the prime minister says. It was for me honestly very it felt good. And for me, I'm not going to lie, it was also a sense of validation because I had to come in here as a foreigner. Exactly. And I've been looked upon as a foreigner as well, many times. Yes. So for me, it was like, okay, at least somebody acknowledges that upani हाम्रो जस्तै हो, if not completely on paper, तर at least she wants to do for the country. त्यो राम्रो लाग्यो.
Wow, what an evolution, बिहा गरेर आउँदाखेरि घरभित्रको भाषा पनि नबोल्ने, बाहिरको पनि नबोल्ने देखि लिएर प्राइम मिनिस्टरले उ गर्ने. नेपालको विशेषता नै त्यही छ कि we are very welcoming, we are very friendly, we are very accepting as a society, I think, you know. There is of course the fringes on either side, whatever it is, but more or less that is how it is, and I think the concert went exceptionally well as well. So now, I mean, having said all that, with the training and all, how do you find the youth of Nepal now? Everyone's going out. You know, I also ask youth, and over 90% say we want to go out. And मलाई चाहिँ डर लाग्ने के भने अनि ल ठिकै छ विदेश जाने, कहाँ जाने भन्दाखेरि दाइ अस्ट्रेलिया, अमेरिका, वेस्टर्न युरोपको जहाँ भिजा लाग्यो त्यहाँ जाने, कहाँ जाने पनि थाहा छैन. अनि के गर्ने त्यहाँ गएर त्यो पनि थाहा छैन. दाइ जिन्दगी बनाउने हो, त्यहाँ पुगेपछि त गरिहाल्छौ नि. यसो विचार गर्नु त, आफ्नो परिवार, आफ्नो समाज, आफ्नो देशमा उहाँहरूले जोखिम बढी देख्नु भएको छ. ती बाहिर कुनै पनि देशमा गएर जे पनि गरे भने द एबिलिटी अफ यु नो द कन्फिडेन्स आई हेभ, आई विल मेक अ लाइफ द्याट, बट यहाँ बस्यो भनेदेखि आई कान्ट डु इट भन्ने त्यो अँध्यारोपन भन्छु के, द्याट डार्कनेस, इट स्केयर्स मी एट टाइम्स, इट स्केयर्स मी. आई ट्राई टु लाइट्स बट इट्स जस्ट जसरी भए पनि जानु पर्यो. कन्टेनरमा बसेर ब्राजिलबाट अमेरिका पुग्ने होस् या भिजा स्टुडेन्ट भिजा लिएर चाहिँ गएर चाहिँ अनि एयरपोर्टबाटै गायब हुने होस्. हाउ डु यु फाइन्ड द युथ इन योर इन्टरेक्सन्स?
I align with what you say, 95%. दुई खालको युथ छन् मलाई जस्तो लाग्छ. One, and I've met these people, amazing, super talented, young, dynamic, industrious youngsters that are here and that are doing great work. त्यस्तो पनि छ, but it's a small group. Handful हो comparison मा. I would say that is 10%, 8 to 10% जति होला, maybe even smaller. Maybe I'm wrong here. The bulk does want to go out. अनि त्यो यति दुःख लाग्छ किन. I'll tell you, मेरो लागि personally बेसी दुःख किन लाग्छ. I was talking about it 2-3 हफ्ता अगाडि with my मामु, हैन. हामी कलकत्ताबाट हो. At one point, Calcutta was the most vibrant city in India, 60s and 70s, right?
Absolutely.
अनि मेरो आफ्नै सिटीमा हामीले के हेऱ्यो, 60s and 70s मा two things happened. एक त communism आयो in a very strong way, because of which a lot of industries were stopped, right? त्यो development त्यहाँ stop भयो. त्यसपछि simultaneously, and I'm not against anybody, तर मदर टेरेसा पनि ठुलो हुनुभयो. उहाँले गर्दा के भयो, because she was the savior of the poor, and there was so much media attention on her because she was white and she had a very specific brand. Calcutta was portrayed by the Western media, both within the country and outside, as the city of poor people. Okay, so के भयो, slowly मेरो आफ्नो सिटीमा त्यो investment आउन कम भयो. We also had bad governance for many years, and because socially pani, you were only seeing images of poor people, lepers, you were only seeing the destitute. Ke bhayo, the image and the branding and the perspective got spoiled. Perspective spoil huna is the worst that can happen, because then it's a ripple effect. Then it's basically dominoes, right? Ek pachi ek. Investment jhan stop hone gayo. Today, I grew up I told you, all of us, big family, everybody in Calcutta. Nobody's in Calcutta. Out of all the friends I had, India ma pani basne साथीहरु, कलकत्ता मा एउटा साथी छ हाम्रो ग्रुपको, एकजना. मेरो family ma, मेरो बहिनी, because she is married to somebody in Calcutta, is in Calcutta. Nobody else is there. Everyone's left. Now the problem with that city is, इतनी vibrant city थियो, youth गए पछि, त्यसको त्यो vibrancy, त्यसको soul, त्यसको त्यो के गरौँ थियो energy हरायो, okay? Unfortunately, bird's eye view बाट हेर्दाखेरि, I can see something similar happening here, maybe not today, but in 15 years. That is my problem. My problem is that a city of old people is a dying city. Who wants to move in, who wants to come to Calcutta is not there. त्यो सेम, त्यो त दुःख हेरिसक्यो नि, हामीले त हेरिसक्यो. मेरो हजुरबाले भन्नुहुन्थ्यो, I have seen the city die in front of my eyes. I have seen what Calcutta was. सबै culture, intelligentsia, all of those people were there. All the economists, the dancers, the singers, everyone, Satyajit Ray, Tagore, name it. And now it's not like that at all. Similarly, I can see that erosion happening in Nepal, and मेरो लागि त्यो painful छ. It's like a repeat.
It's so true. You know, it's the perception that you said, one, the perception of Nepal. I mean, I go out and talk to a lot of non-Nepalis, and they say, "Oh, you come from Nepal. You're so lucky. The Mount Everest. And Buddha and Pashupatinath. It matters where you're talking, and then the trekking and the rhinos and the tigers and all that." And I say, "That's really great. I'm a banker. Would you consider investing in Nepal?" They're like, "Huh? Investing? No. I'll come for holiday. I'll bring my family and friends. We'll do holiday in Nepal." I said, "What about investing? You said so many good things about tourism, about investing in a hotel or in hydro clean energy." No. Because the perception is you don't invest in Nepal.
Exactly.
You go and have fun
in Nepal.
Enjoy Nepal.
Yes.
And because that, it's, as you said, it's a self-fulfilling fallacy. So people, even investment summit, they will come because they want to go and see the mountain flight and you want to do this, that, and all. When you go to an investment summit in Delhi or Singapore or Malaysia, no one wants to go and see places. They're there to say, what are the opportunities? Let me see where I can put my
network in the evening.
Exactly, network in the evening here, there. I've seen so many investment summits say the people are more interested in, how do I get to a mountain flight? Can you arrange a Pashupati darshan? Can you, I'm into wildlife. Where's better Chitwan or Bardia? So the perception is they've come here to see Nepal, to enjoy. That's okay. Please continue to come, love, enjoy. Nepal is the best place in the world. Tara, यहाँ लगानी पनि गरौँ के जस्ट लाइक विथ कलकत्ता पनि त्यो होइन झन् त्यो टाटाको उ भएपछि त झन् त्यो खतमै भयो त्यसबाट सिक्नु पर्यो हामीले
नि
मेरो बुवा पनि कलकत्ता मेडिकलमै परिबक्सिया हो मेरो हजुर अब माई वाइफ हजुरबा सुवर्ण शमशेर वाज एक्जाइल दे अल व्हाई डिड दे चुज कलकत्ता एन्ड नट अदर बिकज द्याट वाज द सिटी द्याट वाज द हार्ट अफ इन्डिया अनि त्यो बेलामा दिल्ली होइन मुम्बई पनि अब ठिकै थियो बेङ्गलोरहरू त त्यो त थिँदै थिएन केही पनि थिएन आज हेरौँ न होइन एउटा जेनेरेसनमै कहाँबाट कहाँ गएको छ भने त्यसबाट हामीले पनि सिक्नुपर्छ कि हाम्रो नेपाललाई पनि र नेपाल फेरि पपुलेसन वाइज बिग भए पनि इट्स अ म्यानेजेबल कन्ट्री के यो साँच्चै नै राम्रो नेतृत्व मलाई लाग्छ 20 वर्ष लाग्दैन 5 देखि 7 वर्षमा पुरा रूपान्तरण सकारात्मक रूपान्तरण हुनसक्छ यहाँ
हो सिङ्गापुरको के भयो त एक जेनेरेसनभित्र
एक्ज्याक्टली
ली क्वान यू एकजनाले एक मान्छेको विल एकजनाले एक जेनेरेसनभित्र फिसिङ विलेजलाई के बनाइदिनु भयो दुबईको त सेम
Exactly.
1994
Malaysia with Mahathir, it totally changed.
Crazy. We can do it. के अनि मलाई त नेपालमा एउटा ठुलो कुरा कुन कुरा एकदम सकारात्मक लाग्छ मलाई होइन अब इन्डिया जस्तो देश यति ठुलो डाइभर्सिटी त्यहाँ त अझै बेसी छ इभन जियोग्राफिकल डाइभर्सिटी इज क्रेजी लेभलको त्यहाँ त एउटा ठुलो रिलिजन छ विच इज डिभाइडिङ पिपल नि त देयर इज सो मेनी पिपल द्याट आर प्लेइङ अन द नेम अफ रिलिजन फर देयर भेस्टेड इन्ट्रेस्ट नेपालमा त्यो पनि छैन इट्स इजियर फर अस के सजिलो छ गर्न सकिन्छ आई थिङ्क I mean, I'm just waiting for the day when this entire, people leaving the country stops and we have somebody who can actually make us change that perception, that perspective change bhayepachi, the perception, the brand change bhayepachi, when we can retain our youth and do something, I think.
I think we need someone who can show a dream, a dream to the youth of Nepal to say that, this is possible. And then they have the confidence that यसले चाहिँ त्यो सपनालाई साकार गर्न सक्छ है किनभने पसिना बगाउनु पनि हेरौँ न खाडी क्षेत्र उसमा नेपाली युवाहरूले नि गरिरहेको छ बुद्धि चलाउने अस्ट्रेलिया अमेरिका युरोपमा माई गड हामी डक्टर्स इन्जिनियर्स यहाँ मात्रै किन भएन भने त्यही नेतृत्व हो के that's the leadership and I think we've all got to work together. We've got to stop finding faults in each other जस्तो लाग्यो कि हामी चाहिँ in the political domain कुरै नकारात्मक कुरै यो कुरा गऱ्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ होइन अब जस्तै यो ऊ भइरहेछ नि हाम्रो कुरा भइरहेको छ कतिजनाले भन्छ उसलाई किन लिएर आएको ऊ त नेपाली पनि होइन भनेर होइन के हामी नेपालीबाट मात्रै अनि उहाँ त किन उहाँले त्यहाँ होइन जिन्दगी नै यहाँ गरिसक्नु भएको छ बच्चा पाइसक्नु भएको छ ऊ गरिसक्नु अब के गर्ने अरू चाहिँ अमेरिका हेरौँ न अमेरिकामा I mean, Henry Kissinger, everyone's heard of Henry. He was not born American. He immigrated and he became the Secretary of State, one of the most powerful people then. President back or sabai ta videshबाट गएर पनि हुन सक्छ भनेदेखि that is how you grow a country, a society and an institution. Okay, this is so Nabil Bank मा हुँदाखेरि the second time round we brought a lot of people from outside because people used to say बैंक खोल्ने हो भने राष्ट्रिय ब्याङ्कको लाइसेन्स नाभिड ब्याङ्कको स्टाफ चाहिन्छ अब 30 वर्षसम्म बाहिर गइसक्यो बाहिरबाट लिँदै नलिने अनि कसरी संस्थालाई उ गर्ने भने टुडे नाइबरी लाज अ भाइब्रेन्ट टिम विच इज डुइङ भेरी वेल देश पनि त्यही हो क्या यो भनेको होइन कि विदेशी मात्रै आउने हामी अब अर्को चिज युवाहरू गए देयर इज अ void होइन इट्स लाइक वाटर के इफ देयर इज अ void water will fill it someone will fill this void and that is all. The other thing that concerns me is if there's no one here we still need people and a friend of mine from the Middle East said, Anil, looking at your country and the number of your citizens who are in my country, the day will come when you will go to a restaurant in your country and just like you laugh at me and say, hey, we are in your country, we are in your restaurant, the cook, the guard,
everybody's
the waiter,
Nepali.
Everyone is from outside that country, Nepali, Sri Lankan, Bangladeshi, and said, I can give it to you in writing. If I come to your country in 5 years, it'll be the same thing. We'll go to a restaurant and everyone in there will not be Nepali. There'll be someone else because all your Nepalese will be here. हुन लागिसकेको छ बिस्तारै बिस्तारै फ्याट्टा फुट्टा वेटर्स होइन हामी यताबाट आएको उताबाट आएको इट्स नट वेयर दे केम फ्रम द फ्याक्ट इज देयर इज एन अपर्च्युनिटी विच द नेपलिज युथ आर नट डुइङ इट दे आर हियर इन पन्जाब हरियाणा हार्भेस्टिङ टाइम नेपलिज आर देयर टु हार्भेस्ट टु सो टु दिस हाम्रो पनि किसानको त्यही हुन्छ जस्तो लागिसक्यो गाउँ गाउँमा चाहिँ होइन यो कहाँबाट आयो भने त्यो देशबाट आयो यो किन छैन बन्जर खेत गर्नु त कोहीले हलो जोतिरहेको छ भने गर्न दिनु पऱ्यो भनेर दिस इज द अदर फियर आई हेभ एन्ड एज यु सेड the future is not with the elderly, the future is with the youth. And भविष्य युवामा छ भने अब युवै छैन भने कहाँबाट देशको भविष्य हुन्छ के
त्यो एनर्जी नै हुँदैन नि एनर्जी नै पुग्दैन लुक एट द थिङ्स वी लर्न फ्रम द यङ्गर पिपल आई मिन आई हेभ पिपल हु आर वर्किङ आइदर विथ मी or people that I train and I'm always going to pick up 2 or 3 new things from them. They'll always come up with ideas that you can't perceive because we're just not built that way. I'm a millennial. I'm not like these Gen Z and Alpha kids are so much smarter than us. के थाहा हुन्छ there's just so much to be learned from them and if they're not going to be here who's going to do that who's going to do that अनि मेरो लागि त साँच्चै it's more painful because I've seen Calcutta. I've seen a city disintegrate के
And you have a son, I have a daughter. On a personal level also त्यो डर छ कि हाम्रै नबस्ने हो कि क्या हो भनेर के अनि त्यसपछि त होइन नेसनल लेभलमा कुरा गर्नु त आफ्नै पारिवारिक लेभलमै त्यो पीडा आएपछि चाहिँ अनि चाहिँ गाह्रो हुन्छ
मेरो त एउटा छोरा मात्र हो होइन
मेरो एउटा
छोरी हजुरको अनि मेरो बाबुले त मलाई अलरेडी भन्न थाल्यो मामु म त अमेरिका जाने न आई आस्क्ड हिम किन जाने लाइक यु हेभ टु एक्सप्लेन जस्टिफाई गो नो प्रब्लम बिकज अमेरिकामा यो टोय पाउँछ नेपालमा पाउँदैन शिपिङ इज $32 आई सेड लाइक द्याट वाज अब ही इज 10 यु नो व्हाट आई मीन बट लेट्स अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड वेयर ही इज कमिङ फ्रम ही थिङ्क्स द्याट सम थिङ्स उसले टोय भन्या हो एउटा टोय उसले हेऱ्यो अनलाइन $32 शिपिङ रेट छ सो ही वान्ट्स टु मुभ टु अमेरिका सो द्याट ही क्यान गेट इट फ्रम अ वालमार्ट उसले त्यो बुझ्या छ युट्युब हेरेर तर द ट्रुथ इज today it's a toy.
Yes.
Tomorrow it's going to be an opportunity.
Exactly.
And day after it could be a bigger opportunity. Yeah. And after that it could be some documentation. Yes. After that it could be a job. It could be whatever.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that's easier available there than here.
Yes.
And how will I then be able to keep my child here? Malai ta dar लाग्छ.
तर त्यही हो त्यो डर धेरैमा छ तर आई थिङ्क हामी जस्तोको चाहिँ त्यो डरको लागि केही गर्नु सक्ने हाम्रो क्षमता छ र त्यो ठाउँमा हामी पुगेको छौँ कि मान्छे भन्दा तिमी यस्तो ब्याङ्किङ गरेर रिटायर किन यो होइन लिड नेपाल भनेर यो ट्रेनिङ गरेर गरिरहेको छौँ त्यही डरले गरेर हो कि मेरो हातमा बलेको मैनबत्ती छ जति सक्यो युवाहरूको मैनबत्ती बाल्न सक्यो भने उनीहरूले पनि उज्यालोपन देखेर यहीँ बस्छ कि भने त्यही कारणले हो कि त्यो यसरी अहिले पनि यो घुमेर गरिरहेको र अहिले भर्खर एउटा कार्यक्रममा होइन लन्डनमा थिएँ इन्सपायर एक्स भन्ने कार्यक्रम त्यहाँ पनि एउटा पडकास्ट गरेँ पडकास्ट किन यस्तो किन भन्दाखेरि लुक एट दिस होइन how many thousands of people will benefit from this conversation it's podcast is exactly the same a podcast को कुरा गर्दाखेरि यहाँले एउटा पडकास्ट गर्नुभएको थियो नि यो देशमा किन नबस्ने हो कि के थियो त्यसको टाइटल चाहिँ
पडकास्ट थिएन त्यो भिडियो थियो
के हो त्यो नाम चाहिँ के थियो
7 कारण नेपाल नआउने 7 reasons to never ever visit Nepal
त्यो देखेर मेरो पनि रिस उठेको थियो
धन्यवाद
भन्ने यस्तो
अनि इन्डियन अनुहार अनि पाटनमा सुट गरिरहेको त्यो पनि त थियो नि त इट जस्ट द अप्टिक्स रियली एडेड टु द डिस्कम्फर्ट हो कि होइन नाम पनि अग्रवाल इन्डियन अनुहार होइन इन्डियन केटी अङ्ग्रेजीमा बोलिरहेछ पाटनमा उभिएर
7 reasons why not to come to
Nepal अनि त्यो अप्टिक्स वाज सो रङ के होइन अनि त्यो त फ्लुके थियो साँच्चै भन्छु लकडाउनको बेला थियो I was tired of cooking and cleaning and cribbing because I had done that for a few months होइन अनि त्यसपछि मैले डिसाइड गरेको थियो एभ्री विक एउटा भिडियो बनाउँछु भिडियो बनाउन सिकिरहेको थिएँ कि फोटोग्राफर त थियो क्यामेरा थियो तर क्यामेराको पनि युज आइरहेको थिएन सो हाउ एल्स वुड आई पुट बोथ माई स्किल्स टुगेदर फोटोग्राफी एज वेल एज स्पिकिङ ल भिडियो बनाऊ मैले भिडियो बनाएँ पहिला 16-17वटा मामु भाइ कसैले पनि हेरेन कसैले वास्तै गरेन हो हुन्छ नि सुरुमा लाइक नोबडी एन्ड आई वुड टेल माई मदर मम्मा इट्स लाइफ जस्ट वाच इट हेर्नुहुन्थ्यो भेरी गुड जब खालको लेखिदिनुहुन्थ्यो लाइक राइट द्याट्स वाट प्यारेन्ट्स डु अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ एक दिन लकडाउन अलिअलि खुल्या थियो लाइक यु नो दिस इज अक्टोबर खुल्या थियो समथिङ अनि त्यतिखेर आई जस्ट वेन्ट साथीहरूलाई जिस्काउनको लागि मैले यो भिडियो बनाएँ बिहान 5 बजे उठेँ आई वास्ड माई हेयर आई रोट अ स्क्रिप्ट यो स्क्रिप्ट पनि ओरिजिनल स्क्रिप्ट त पुरै ओरिजिनल थियो रिसर्च पुरै ओरिजिनल थियो तर त्यो आइडिया मैले धेरै वर्ष अगाडि एउटा आर्टिकल पढेको थिएँ वाइ नट टु भिजिट फ्रान्स त्यस्तै के थियो के सो त्यसमै मोडल गरेर मैले यो स्क्रिप्ट रिसर्च गरेँ कति खालको यु नो यति खालको यो छ रिभर त्यताउता आई न्यू नम्बर्स बट बटरफ्लाइज एन्ड अल आई वान्टेड एक्युरेसी गरेँ क्यामेरा बोकेँ बिहान पाटन पुगेँ अनि पुग्दाखेरि त सुट ट्राइपडमा राखेँ क्यामेरा टक 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 एक ठाउँमा भिडियो बनाउनु पनि नआउने साँच्चै होइन द्याट वाज अ डग द्याट वाज बार्किङ हियर पुपिङ अन मी अल सर्ट्स अफ थिङ्स ह्यापनिङ होइन त्यसको र हेर्दाखेरि त कतिचोटि आइम लाइक आउट अफ द स्क्रिन ओ माई गड दाइ हटाउनु ड्राइभर दाइ पनि सँगै हुनुहुन्थ्यो कुकुरलाई बगाउने अनि त्यसपछि म गर्ने ऱ्यान्डमली मैले भिडियो बनाएँ आई थट आई सेन्ड इट टु माई फ्रेन्ड्स किनकि 13 वर्ष भइसकेको थियो म नेपाल आएको अनि साथीहरूले भनिरहेको थियो भिजिट गर्छौँ तर आएन के अनि आई मेड इट साथीहरूलाई इन्डियामा भएको साथीहरू जिस्काउनको लागि बनाएको आई वाज लाइक एंड यू नो दैट टाइम हाम्रो थॉट प्रोसेस के थियो लॉकडाउन हो गया मर जाएंगे तो तुम लोग नेपाल देख नहीं पाओगे टाइप्स आ जाओ दैट वाज द सort of विचारधारा के त्यतिखेर बनाएँ अनि अब एक फ्राइडे आयो अनि एभ्री फ्राइडे भिडियो रिलिज गर्ने त्यो मनमा थियो भिडियो नै छैन के गर्ने ल आज यही रिलिज गरिदिने स्केड्युल गरेँ 6:30 बजेको लागि 4 बजेदेखि त ढुकढुकी ओ नो यो त नेगेटिभ हुनसक्छ होइन वाट इफ पिपल आर थ्रोइङ स्टोन्स एट माई हाउस
विदाउट लुकिङ एट द भिडियो द्याट वाज माई फियर बिकज आई फेल्ट द सेम है
भयो नि त
मारवाडी समूहको नेपाल साथ रिजन नआउने भनेर भनेको चाहिँ के हो यो
अनि पाटनमा उभिएर त्यही
त्यो चाहिँ मेरो डर मैले पनि नहेरेको भएदेखि मेरो दृष्टिकोण यहाँप्रति अलिकति नकारात्मकै हुन्छ अलिकति धेरै
नै मैले त कति थ्रेट्स पाएँ नि त थ्रेट्स चाहिँ पायो नि हो त्यही त बाटोमा हेरेपछि त तिमीलाई थुन दिन्छु यताउता धेरै आयो मेसेजहरू आयो के अनि आइम लाइक सर मेरो विनती छ एकचोटि खोलेर हेर्नु होला 1 मिनट हेर्नु त्यसपछि भन्नु पर्यो होइन अनि मेरो फोन नम्बर लिनु मलाई कल गर्नु एट द्याट पोइन्ट त मलाई त्यस्तो थियो अनि भिडियोमा सडनली भ्युज आयो के लाइक बग छ फेसबुकमा आई थट केही न केही गलतै भइरहेछ 1 घन्टाभित्र 50,000 भ्युज आइसकेको थियो के सो आई थट माई फेसबुकमा त 2000 पनि पुग्दैन मामु छिमेकी सबैलाई भनेर देखाउनु पर्छ भिडियोहरू होइन सडनली के भयो एन्ड आई स्पोक टु माई ब्रदर मेरो भाइ त्यतिखेर मिडियाहरूमा छिरिसकेको थियो कि हि इज लाइक दिदी I know when virality happens, it's like an equation, okay? How many shares, right? So he explained it, the algorithm. So he explained it to me. He's like, Didi, I think it's going viral. Just shut up and keep watching. म त फेसबुक अफ गरेर अन गरिरहेको छु किन डर लागिरहेछ कि के बग भएको छ फेसबुकमा त्यसपछि नकारात्मक कमेन्ट्स आउने त्यो पनि बढेको बढे त्यसपछि त्यही नकारात्मक कमेन्टको आफै मान्छेले रिप्लाई गरिरहेछ सरी म्याडम मेरो क्याफेमा आउनु चिया खाएर कुरा गर्नुपर्छ सरी म्याडम बिकज ही इज रिटन समथिङ नेगेटिभ बाइसिङ द टाइटल देन आई रिक्वेस्टेड हिम टु वाच इट एन्ड देन आफ्टर ही वाच्ड इट or maybe he just watched हिमसेल्फ उसले नै पोजिटिभ लेखेको छ एन्ड देन आई वाज लाइक okay this is working
I got it
अनि 3 दिनभित्र 1 million views भयो त्यो त क्रेजी भएको थियो अनि आई डि नट नो हाउ टु डिल विथ इट के सुरुमा त के गर्ने एन्ड त्यसपछि एभ्रिबडी थट आइम अ ट्राभल एजेन्ट फोन आउन थाल्यो कसम भनिरहेको छु फोन पोखरा जाने हो होइन काठमाडौँबाट शुड वी गो बाई फ्लाइट or take a bus? I said, I don't know, and I'm on Google and I'm figuring it out. I'm like, flight will take 20 minutes, bus will take 7 hours. You get a bus from here. I thought now it's my responsibility to tell people about how to travel. किन विदेशबाट धेरैजनाले अनि त्यतिखेर म पनि अलि लाटी मेरो पर्सनल फोन नम्बर मैले फेसबुकमा राखेको थिएँ कि रोज फोन आउने आई लिटरली अर्गनाइज सो मेनी पिपलको आइटनरी पोखरा जानु चितवन जानु 2 ठाउँको नाम आफैलाई आउने होइन बिकज आई डिन्ट नो हाउ टु डिल विथ एनी अफ दिस आई वाज अनेस्टली भेरी स्टुपिड सो तर रमाइलो भएको थियो जेस इट वाज अ गुड टाइम भेरी गुड टाइम
हेर्नु भएको छैन भने त्यो चाहिँ हेर्नु होला है त्यो टाइटलमा मात्रै नजानु होला टाइटलले रिस उठायो भने पनि झन् हेर्नु होला के भन्दो रहेछ त उहाँले किन नआउने त 7 रिजन्स भनेर इट्स अ ब्युटिफुल्ली मेड ब्युटिफुल्ली क्राफ्टेड देन अनदर वान यु डिड वेयर अगेन आई थिङ्क यु इन्भाइटेड मी एज अ गेस्ट अल्सो अल yours who was there your biggest failure
yes
and that was another interesting one that
If I had not failed
यो
एउटा टेलिभिजन च्यानलको लागि थियो अनि त्यसमा मैले के गरेँ अब हजुरको बारेमा मलाई धेरै कुरा थाहा छ सबै पोजिटिभ कुरा थाहा छ साँच्चै भन्छु होइन बिकज वेन पिपल टक अबाउट यु देल ओन्ली से ओ लाइक सिइओ ओ यति स्मार्ट ओ यो ओ यु नो ओ त्यो त खास सुन्या छैन त्यो त खास धेरै सुन्या छैन जुङ्गा रे होइन नो नो बट यो चस्माको रातो कलरको कुरा भएको छ त्यो रातोको कुरा भएको छ कसम भन्छु बाहिर ओके आई विल नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल से इट यस्तो राम्रो जुङ्गा ल There is, so there's always like all the positives, all the good stuff. So much so that somebody like you becomes unapproachable for somebody like me or a younger person even, right? Malai ta, Anil Shah is like another level of pedestal jasto lagsa. And Tyusanga, the problem with that is that I also start glamorizing and glossing your life. Nobody knows the trouble you went through. Nobody understands. And I remember your episode very well. I remember what you spoke about. I remember the fact that you were moving. So, you know, Teokura. Nobody understands that growing up, maybe you did not feel as fulfilled as we believe seeing your face today. Tara sabbaiko kehi na kehi ta huncha ni. So, I really wanted to bring these stories out kinaki मान्छेले यो कुरा कहिले नि हजुरको अनुहार हेरेर बुझ्दैन तर यो बुझ्न आवश्यक छ because that A humanizes you and normalizes me. I start feeling म पनि normally छु if I'm going through this even I went through it ठिकै छ भइहाल्छ. That loss of hope that was happening right after COVID, I think this was a great way for us to start conversations around failure because nobody talks about it.
Absolutely. Wonderful. That's what's unique about you. Maybe doing the same thing but in a completely different way.
Ulta.
That's it. Ulta. So finally, going forward, where do you see yourself?
It's such a good question. Unfortunately, as of now, I don't have a great answer. I know that what I'm doing, I love what I'm doing. I know I'm going to be doing this. I know communication will be my scene for almost, hopefully, the rest of my life. But there is that already, that kida jun cha ni bhitra euta, that thing is gnawing inside me, that abba something different or something bigger or something that's on a different scale maybe. I don't know. So that is there. My only thing is for the next year and a half at least, I am going to be extremely mindful of my emotions. And why I have realized that this is important is because over the last 18-20 years, maybe since college, I haven't really processed a lot of emotions and a lot of thoughts. I have been so good at either working or people pleasing or living for other people, which is a very common thing that happens around this age, that I haven't been able to think so much about what is fun for me, what makes sense for me, and what is going to really be a value addition to my life. Mero lagi. Aba बाबु 10 वर्षको भयो बाबुलाई पनि अलि हुर्काइदिए he's not depending on me for day to day खाना खाने kind of stuff त्यो भइसक्यो मेरो लागि. Now my thing is, now it's going to be about me, but I want to put in that effort to understand myself. I think यो जुन एउटा awakening ए भन्नुपर्छ comes to a lot of people around the age of 40 भन्छ because 40 you're free no now. कसको opinion के फरक पर्छ, you've done a bit, you've got a bit of paisa, you know, there's a you're not a young, you're right at the perfect time, I think. So for me now, maybe a bit of mindfulness is going to help me understand how I want to pivot. Because I want to pivot. I want to.
Wonderful. अहिले नै, Nari hero भनेर हामीले यहाँ ल्याएको छौँ. And absolutely you are. Nari hero in the way you've led your life, the way you've motivated you. तर अहिले अन्तिममा आएर के थाहा पाएँ भनेदेखि चाहिँ यो त सिर्फ ट्रेलर रहेछ, फिल्म त आउनु बाँकी नै छ. यो भन्दै चाहिँ धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद मान्छेजी आइदिनु भयो. यहाँको यो कथा हामीसँग यसरी in such lovely words, in such a lovely manner you shared your journey, and we wish you the very best in the journey ahead. And I for one am going to be standing there looking at 7 reasons why we shouldn't love Mannsi.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Dhanyavad so much Anilji. It's been such a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. We know this. आज जुङ्गाको बारेमा पनि थाहा पाएँ. अलि खुसी लागिरहेछ that this is one more thing that we should add to your list of amazing credentials, हैन? चस्मा त थियो तर जुङ्गा पनि थपेँ मैले त्यसमा. But more than that, I think speaking to you always, it's a horrible thought, but it always makes me feel I must be really cool if I can speak to this man.
Oh.
you know, it just always, every time I speak to you, I'm like such a fangirl, and I'm always like, okay, if I get to speak to him one-on-one, I'm really cool.
Yeah.
So on that note, thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor, it's a pleasure, and it's so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Always continue to be a Nari hero. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nari TV presents Nari, a podcast show with Anil Keshary Shah, Season 2, celebrating the women heroes of Nepal.
Banking partner
सिद्धार्थ बैंक सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई सपोर्टेड बाई कुमारी बैंक सबैको लागि सधैँको लागि